This is the sound of big ideas being put into action at South Burlington High School.
I wasn't born loving plastic recycling.
Big Picture is South Burlington High School's proficiency-based learning program. Students graduate based on their ability to demonstrate what they know, understand, and are able to do. Jim Shields is a Big Picture advisor.
I am a strong believer in experiential project-based learning. I think that, in fact, that's why they call me an advisor as opposed to a teacher. I mean, we approach things from the point of view that we're trying to create learning experiences as opposed to teaching something. And more importantly, we're trying to create durable learning experiences. So I'm going to learn something that I'm not going to forget a week after the test is done.
Ashley Shell is part of a team at Big Picture developing a recycling project that aims for the top.
We are recycling bottle caps, and we have created a system of where we shred bottle caps, melt them down, and make them into our own items that we can really create anything we want with molds. So it's like a mini recycling plant that we've made ourselves, if you will.
Alex Dombey is also working on this project. She has an internship at St. Michael's College Engineering Department to develop an injector that turns the shredded bottle caps into new items. For her, this project is about putting her emotions into action.
I have a huge passion for environmentalism, saving the earth, because I gotta live here for a little bit longer, and it's in my best interest to make it the nicest place to be. Once I learned that this is something that I should care about because it has massive impact on my personal life, then it's something that immediately comes to the front of my mind.
The team at Big Picture has been developing this recycling system for a few years. They're preparing to give a presentation of what they've learned at the annual 4-H Youth Environmental Summit.
When I hear about any conferences or opportunities to work with 4-H, they're an awesome fit with the experiential project-based nature of Big Picture learning. So they automatically jump out at me as a good match. We've had students who have done the teen science workshops and other programs with the extension, and I've just found that it really matches our mission to allow students to directly experience their learning and produce meaningful, authentic products that can be shared with their community.
For Dombey, this presentation is both a test of the project and a way to develop her skills in public speaking.
I used to deal with a lot of social anxiety, so I want to kind of monitor that and see how I can educate myself with different methods so it's not such a hindrance on my education, because experiences like those are the things that make me go wild for learning. I have huge hopes for kind of nailing in that last little nail to my professional appearance and getting rid of all of the other things in my head.
Yeah. So do you know what that's called? The plants are from the area.
The 4-H Youth Environmental Summit, yes for sure, is an annual conference for middle and high school students. Over 300 students from across Vermont are here to learn about environmental issues, network with peers from other schools, and interact with professionals working on environmental causes in Vermont. Lauren Traster is the UVM Extension 4-H Teen and Leadership Specialist.
What I tell the kids is to really focus on what is the problem, what are some solutions that are currently happening, and how can they get involved and take action. So my hope is they leave today really inspired, have an increased knowledge about what is happening in the environmental community, not just in Vermont, but in our country and in the world, and how can they, our young people, begin to take steps and action to be part of the solutions.
In addition to motivating students to get involved in social and environmental causes, Tracer hopes YES inspires attendees to make a difference in their communities.
This is what we hope for, is that our young people find some issue, whether it's an environmental issue or another social issue, whatever it is, that they find that spark, that it becomes deeply ingrained in them, that they say, what is it I can do? Not just for a school project, not just for a grade, not just to graduate, but what can I do as a citizen of this state and of this country and of this world? How can I leave my mark to make that difference?
It's the little things like that that can really make a difference.
One of the highlights of the 4-H Youth Environmental Summit is the exhibit Scavenger Hunt. Amidst this frenzy of finding answers to earn prizes, students interact with professional groups. These exchanges fit the 4-H mission of learning by doing.
We invite the environmental community to be part of this day. So professionals in nonprofits, in state agencies, UVM extension, education. We bring everybody in who's willing to come and share their knowledge with our young people and ask them to step up and join them in solving these problems. And so the people we bring here are great because they recognize that the solutions need to include young people. It's not just let us do our work. It's like, no, we have this work. We want you and invite you in to be part of our work and get you engaged.
So I would encourage you to ask your parents to take you to your first or
At the big picture presentation, the group shows slides and talks about their project. But this day is all about doing. So once the shredder starts going, the audience is involved and everyone is working together.
start to pull this out if you want.
Ashley and Alex know that's when learning happens.
Down, and then it goes wild.
Hands-on learning is definitely the way to go because it feels like you're doing something more. It's planting hopefully a first seed of something that will grow and other people will realize and catch on because we need action now, not tomorrow, not in a year. We need to start helping out now because the clock is ticking and we have to do something other than putting up save the earth signs and stuff. We have to actually get down to business and get our hands dirty.
I personally love conferences for the one purpose of networking. When I find students from Montpelier High School, from high schools that I didn't even know existed, from faraway towns that I've never been to, I create these bonds with these students, and through that we all have these young, imaginative brains. And so if you get all of us in a room, there's bound to be genius happening.
For Shields, this project and the YES Conference are opportunities for students to experience what it means to gain knowledge from real-world experience.
I think going to a conference where you're actually sharing something that you're doing in your school, an initiative you're taking, and hearing from other students who are doing initiatives at their own school was a really inspiring way for students to feel ownership and like an authentic exchange. It's not a conference where people go and put up slideshows about environmental issues they've heard about. They're really not just kind of reteaching, they're actually sharing initiatives that they're doing at their own schools. So it has that hands-on, taking initiative, rolling up your sleeves and doing something that I think my students got a lot of inspiration from.
Speaking out, taking action, and being a force for change. It's what has these students saying yes at the 4-H Youth Environmental Summit. In Barrie, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.